So we finally started the works at the Shop Hill to Porey Springs area in St. Thomas. Residents will be aware that these works have been promised for quite some time, and we have been in the process over the last few months of ensuring that we started the mains replacement of the water mains. We have also been trying to ensure that we had the designs ready in terms of being able to work on various sections of the road. What you see here today is that we have started the milling of the actual stretch from Duke Hill Junction to Porey Springs. We're doing it in phases, so that is the first phase that is going to be done. And it has been started there because this area is actually less complex than the other two phases, in that there is not as much disruption that can be caused in this area, but we wanted to get the work started. The contractors on site will also be continuing to make the necessary changes in relation to the other areas, the other two phases for the designs. And we're hopeful that this work in its entirety will be able to be completed in at least about 8 months. Over the course of the next few months, residents can obviously expect that there will be some disruption in terms of being able to traverse certain areas. There will be some traffic diversions. Of course, there will be some dust as well in terms of the usual inconveniences, but we've tried to minimize that as much as possible by being able to break the roads into various sections. So this first phase, which has started already, will continue until this one is completed, and then we will start to work on phase 2. That will then have its own disruptions, and then phase 3 will then be completed, which will take us down to the actual junction in the vicinity of Lester Vaughn School. There are some light poles that are going to have to be removed from this area as well and replaced over the course of the next few months. There are improvements to the drainage, as well as improvements to both the sidewalks, the curb and slipper along the entire stretch of the road. So residents, I know, have been complaining a bit, but the truth is that this work has taken a lot of time, a lot of coordination in order to be able to today be able to say that we are finally starting, that something is happening in the Shop Hill area. The other good news is that the Cane Garden to Bridgefield Road is also at the final stages of design. We expect to have that completed within 2 weeks and have the work started. And we are starting on Shop Hill so that once this section is completed, the next contractors will also be able to work on the Cane Garden to Bridgefield area to minimize the disruption to the people of St. Thomas and the people who traverse these particular areas. We would also, in the last few months, back in December, have done the upgrade to the Hangman Hill Road. That too had a number of challenges over the last few years, and while it is in the Complant project, we brought that forward to do some minor rehabilitation on the road to allow for necessary traffic diversions while the works are ongoing on both Shop Hill and Cane Garden to Bridgefield. So the people of St. Thomas can expect over the next few months major improvements in terms of the roads in the parish, which certainly had been neglected for several years. But we are certainly pushing ahead to make sure that we not only design a number of the roads within this area of the Scotland district, but also that we upgrade the existing utilities and bring general improvement to not only residents but also to businesses who either have to live and work in the area, or people who have to traverse this area in order to get to the neighboring parishes as well, because this is a major commute for a number of people in both the St. George, St. Andrew areas, as well as St. Thomas. And so we are pleased that we are able to get these works going and started. And just, I would like persons to just cooperate with the contractors. I know it will be, another few months of disruption, but I think that once we are able to do it in phases, you will start to see the improvements in the coming months. So basically, in looking at where we would start first, we knew that we had the designs ongoing for Shop Hill and Cane Garden to Bridgefield, but it didn't make sense starting those roads without having other arteries through which the people of St. Thomas and other commuters would be able to have some roads for diversion. And so we had no choice but to do the upgrades to Hangman Hill. Reese Road is also another major artery which connects both the Shop Hill area as well as the Cane Garden to Bridgefield area. So that is actually, I think, should be completed within the next 2 weeks or so. And that project, that is on the Complant, but that will be completed very shortly as well. So by doing these two roads, both Hangman Hill and Reese Road, it has given us an opportunity to have the necessary diversions that the contractors are going to be requiring in order to handle the issues of traffic management over the coming months. And so those works, as I said, one is at the stage of completion, one is at the stage of near completion, and these works now at Shop Hill, which will be have started, will also now complement the works that will start at Cane Garden to Bridgefield in the next 2 weeks.
The milling operation started yesterday. The design of this artery or this road from Lester Vaughn to Porey Spring had started in sort of August of 2024, and then that was an iterative process. So since it's a design build road, the design has to take place first before you can actually start any works on site. What we see here, what C.O. Williams has done just yesterday is milled off several hundred meters of roadway that you can see behind me. So that's the first step in the process. Take off the existing asphalt surface, then they will bring in excavators and excavate down to rock, all the way down to rock. And then the road surface, the road will sub base will then be consist of compacted marl fill up to just below the surface. Then it'd be 6 inches of cement stabilized base course, and then the two inch of asphalt, the wearing course, will be placed on top of that. And then that same process, the road width is 6 meters wide, and then there are either shoulders or sidewalks 1.5 meters on either side of the road. So that is the full width. 9 meters is the extent of the width of the excavation that's going to take place. And the works will continue will be executed in sections, and the start and stop of each section is being carefully planned, so to allow for easy access for commuters to divert around them. So that is why we're going to be going. C.O. Williams the contractor will be going in sections all the way down. We started just south of the Fortress Hill junction, just to the north of where I'm standing, and this first section will continue down to just north of the Jukes Hill junction.
I think the DPM and Craig explained very well with the point that we're at now. Again, we chose our starting point very strategically in terms of making sure we have as easy detours for the public as possible with the start of the works. It's also, from a design point of view, the easier sections. So it gives the designers a chance to work ahead of us, that we can start and not wait until the whole thing is complete, and take advantage of us going into the dry season to get this work done as fast as possible. We are working and coordinating with the utilities. Luckily, again, in this section, there are no major water mains, so that will help us to get forward faster. The BWA has gone ahead and completed sections that we'll be working in. The public would have seen them doing work from the top of Shop Hill going north to the Hangman's Hill junction. That's been completed. They do still have further works to do ahead of us, going from the top of Shop Hill down towards Lester Vaughn. Again, the public will know all the leaking water mains and so on that they've experienced in the past. They want to make sure and have that main replaced before we do this new road construction. So again, we would ask the public to bear with us. We will do the best we can to give announcements, speak to those in the community, let them know what's happening, when it's happening, have the best signage that we can, showing the detours. We will have our staff at the detour points trying to guide people along the way. Because these sections are going to be full excavation, they're going to be closed for some significant periods, but again, we will endeavor to work and get it complete as fast as possible. There are, why again we're starting on this area, there are some more challenging areas of design as we work south towards Shop Hill. More culverts, more walls, Shop Hill itself, and Porey Spring, because we will be moving into the community in Porey Spring. But we want to make sure we have those designs right before we start. And again, we will endeavor to do the best we can and complete as fast as possible with as least disruption as possible.